Should you move to North Raleigh? If you're moving to the Triangle, chances are Cary and Apex are already on your list, and I get it. They're popular, they're polished, and they're easy to picture yourself in. But what about North Raleigh? Could that actually be a better fit? Not because Cary or Apex are not great, they are, but because North Raleigh offers a different kind of lifestyle. It can give you a calmer, more established setting while still keeping you closely connected to Raleigh, the airport, Midtown, RTP, and all the places busy people actually use every week. So in this video, I'm breaking down why some buyers choose North Raleigh over Cary or Apex, who that decision makes the most sense for, and how to figure out which area fits the way you actually want to live. Here we go. Hey everybody, I'm Heather Taylor, founder of Tailored Realty Group. Here we create real estate experiences tailored to who? That's right, tailored to you. If you watch my channel, first of all, thank you. And secondly, you know I live in Apex and I'm a big fan of Apex and Cary and that whole side, the southwestern side of Raleigh. But recently I've had several buyers choose North Raleigh over Apex or Cary. And today we're going to talk about why that can be a better fit for some people. One of the biggest reasons a buyer may choose North Raleigh over Cary or Apex is that it often feels more established. A lot of neighborhoods in North Raleigh have mature trees, more shade, more greenery, and more variety in home styles. There's a sense that these neighborhoods have had time to grow into themselves. And for many buyers that matters. Home feels a little calmer and a little less manufactured. Now compare that to Apex or Cary. Those areas can absolutely be a better fit for buyers who want newer communities, a stronger suburban identity, and more of a master planned feel. But some buyers are looking for something different. They want a neighborhood with more character, more individuality, more of that rooted, lived-in feel. That's where North Raleigh can really stand out. And what makes that even more appealing is that North Raleigh is not just established, it's also really well connected. If airport access matters, North Raleigh can be a great fit. If you work in RTP, like to spend a lot of time in downtown Raleigh, or want easy access to Midtown and North Hills, the location starts to make a lot of sense. North Raleigh appeals to a lot of buyers because it offers easy access to places like Shelley Lake, Lake Lynn, Falls Lake, and Umstead. That means trails, biking, walking, water access, and more of that green, active lifestyle that a lot of buyers want. Now, to be fair, Cary and Apex have a lot of great parks and trails too. This is not a case of North Raleigh being the only place with outdoor options. But one thing that makes Raleigh different to me is the more connected greenway system. In Raleigh, you can move more seamlessly from neighborhoods to parks and lakes and even into downtown Raleigh using the greenways, dedicated bike lanes, and bike-friendly roads. That creates a different kind of lifestyle because the trail system feels more like a part of the city itself, not just a collection of separate trails. In Cary and Apex, you can absolutely enjoy parks and greenways, but the system tends to feel a little more broken up. So if you like the idea of taking a walk after work, biking longer distances, or feeling like the outdoor access is woven into everyday life, North Raleigh has a real advantage there. That may not be a deciding factor for every buyer, but for some people, it's a big quality of life upgrade. And I think this is a good place to bring in a real life example, because this choice becomes a lot easier to understand when you actually hear it from people who made that decision. So I want to introduce you to a young couple who recently moved from downtown Raleigh to North Raleigh. And what makes their story especially interesting is that they didn't even seriously look at Cary or Apex. So that tells you something. So I asked them a few questions to really get at the point of what daily life in North Raleigh feels like and why it stood out to them. Okay, so I am here with a couple of friends, clients of mine, Chris and Caitlin. They recently moved here to North Raleigh, and we're going to talk a little bit about why they decided to do that. Tell me a little bit about when you decided to leave downtown Raleigh, because I knew they had been living in downtown Raleigh. What did you want more of in your next home, and why did North Raleigh feel like the best fit for that?
Yeah, North Raleigh felt like the best fit, mostly because we were able to find the home with the right square foot and room count mixture. It also was close to the greenways and a lot of our friends that had already been established into the area.
Yeah, so coming from downtown Raleigh inside the Beltline, this felt more like home to you than somewhere like Apex or Cary, say?
Yeah, kept us connected with the work habits and our daily routines.
Okay, cool. And then speaking of daily routines and riding bikes, as you just mentioned, Chris owns Bell's Bikes, and I bring that up. He didn't even want to promote it. I just wanted to bring it up because we were talking about greenways, and I had said earlier, or maybe later in the video, I can't remember now, that the greenways in North Raleigh are a little bit more connected to things than the greenways in Apex and Cary. Can you speak a little bit to that, Mr. Bike Guy?
Yeah, lots of good greenways in both places. In Cary and Apex, you get a lot more nature greenways around parks, even to the American Tobacco Trail down into Apex. Here in Raleigh, obviously being a little bit more established in our neighborhoods, our greenways connect from breweries in different neighborhoods, from Five Points to Raleigh Ironworks to downtown. So it really becomes a little bit more of a transportation to and from work or to the bars at night.
So it's a bit more of a lifestyle thing. You can get from here to there on the greenway. So that's cool for people who enjoy biking. So tell me a little bit about what your typical Saturday in North Raleigh looks like.
Yeah, we typically start by going to Sola just off of Lead Mine, which is one of our favorite breakfast places. We then typically come home, split ways. I may deliver bikes. Caitlin may do something around the house.
On a walk on the greenway.
Yeah, typically come together and go to a brewery, hit up 5 Points or Raleigh Ironworks.
So this is just your lifestyle. You were connected to Raleigh before. You didn't want to go out to Apex or Cary, maybe a little bit too much suburbia for you out there?
Yeah, I think for me, it was really important to maintain my commute, which was pretty short. And that's huge for me because I'm sometimes coming home late or going to work early, and I just want it to be quick.
And you work inside the Beltline?
Yes, I work downtown.
And then what about getting out of town? If you want to hit the airport, how's the traffic from here to the airport? How long does that typically take you?
The airport's probably 15, 18 minutes away. So yeah, very convenient to get around town.
Okay, so we got some convenience, we got friends in the area, we've got lifestyle hanging out in downtown Raleigh still, and also the ability to run your bike business and ride bikes from here to there and everywhere. And I think that's the key. If your goal is to stay connected to downtown Raleigh, North Raleigh gives you that while still providing you with more of the suburban feel you may be looking for. And for truly luxury buyers, Cary and Apex absolutely have luxury homes. But North Raleigh has a much deeper luxury market. In the data I reviewed, North Raleigh had far more sales over $2 million than Cary or Apex, much more activity above $3 million, and a much higher top-end luxury market. So for buyers looking for established luxury neighborhoods, custom homes, tear down and rebuild opportunities, or true estate-level homes, North Raleigh is probably your better choice. Now that said, Cary and Apex are fantastic for the right buyer. They just tend to win with a different buyer profile. Cary tends to be a strong match for buyers who want a polished, suburban environment, newer communities and amenities, strong proximity to RTP, highly planned neighborhoods, and a very established suburban reputation. Apex tends to be a stronger match for buyers who want a charming downtown feel, strong community identity, newer housing options, and that growing small town meets suburb energy. But North Raleigh may be more appealing for the buyer who says, I want a neighborhood with mature trees and larger lots. I want a more established feeling neighborhood with fewer cookie cutter homes. I want super easy access to Raleigh. I want outdoor recreation and greenway trails that take me downtown. I want convenience without feeling like I'm in the middle of the city. And if I'm buying luxury, I want more depth at the top of the market. So if you're trying to decide where to live, ask yourself, which place fits the way you actually want to live? Do you want to spend your weekends in suburbia or in the city? I live in Apex and I spend most of my nights out in Apex. Sometimes I head out to Cary, but I really only go into Raleigh on occasion. I love the big small town feel in Apex. But if Raleigh is where you want to spend your time, North Raleigh just might be the better fit. If you're trying to figure out whether North Raleigh, Cary, Apex, or another part of the triangle is the best fit for your lifestyle, book a free consultation on my website and let's talk about it. I help buyers make smart, educated decisions based on how they actually want to live, not just what looks best on paper. And if this video was helpful, make sure you subscribe because I create content every week to help you understand what living in the Raleigh area is really like. Also, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Would you choose North Raleigh, Cary, or Apex? And I'm sure some of you are going to say none of the above. And that's cool too. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week. Bye.